So today we will start chapter 1 of science, that is matter in our surroundings. Now introduction to matter. Everything is made up of matter. Glass, stone, water, air, everything is a part of matter. We can say one thing, that earth itself is a matter. Now the earth is divided into 5 state of matter. What are the state of matter? We know that we have studied in the earlier standards: solid, liquid, gaseous, plasma. These are the 4 types of states. Now the fifth one, which I have not listed, and it is recently discovered, that is Bohr and Einstein condensed state. So these are the 5 state of matters on earth. We can take one example also. Solid, your mobile phone; liquid, water; gaseous, the air; plasma, that is lava. The example which I gave you of matter have mass, means they are having a body, they occupy space. Now you will ask me that how air occupies space. Then I will give you one simple example. When you fill air in balloon, then what happens? The air pushes the wall of balloon, and the balloon gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So now we know one thing, that matter have mass and occupy space. But there is a confusion between mass and weight. Keep one thing in mind, mass and weight are different. So what is difference between mass and weight? Let's check it out in the next slide. Mass is amount of matter in a body without thinking about its volume and force acting on it. So it is very difficult to understand in this language. So I will give you a simple example. The jeans you wear on earth, the same jeans you wear on Mars or moon, you will get fit inside it properly. Jeans doesn't change. So now I have given you one simple example of a jeans, that the jeans in which you are fit on earth, equally you are fit on any other planets, regarding any gravitational force, regarding any volume. But weight is a different thing. If you weigh 60 kilogram on earth, your weight on moon will be 10 kilograms. Why does the weight change? That is because of the gravitational force. The gravitational force of earth is more than gravitational force of moon. That's why the weight of a body is 60 kilogram on earth and 10 kilogram on moon. So now we know one thing, that weight is dependent on gravitational force. Okay. So the second difference from that we derive is mass is same everywhere. Whether it is on earth, whether it is on moon, the mass is same. As we took an example of jeans. Jeans remains fit everywhere, but weight differs according to the gravitational force, because gravitational force is not same everywhere. The third difference is mass is measured in kilogram, gram and milligram, but weight is measured in Newton. So now we understood what is mass and what is weight and what is difference between them, right? So again we will go to matter. So according to the Indian philosophers, when they were discussing about the matter, that how to classify, how to differentiate this matter, how to make group of matters, that this comes in this group of matter, this comes in that group of matter. So according to the Indian philosophers, they divided matter into 5 parts, that is air, earth, fire, sky and water, as you can see listed in the presentation. So Indian philosophers gave them one name, that is Panch Tattva. Panch means 5, Tattva means element. Panch Tattva. Now ancient Greek philosophers were also discussing the same thing, that is about matter. So they also come to the same conclusion that matter is divided in 5 parts or 5 elements. So now when we discuss about the modern day scientists, what they did, they classified the matter into 2 parts, that is physical properties and chemical nature. In simple words, we can say physical change and chemical change. Let's discuss the physical properties first. So in that, we will see first that is matter is made up of particles. Means everything is made up of small things. So according to this topic, 2 schools came with their own thoughts. The first school said that matter is made up of continuous wooden block. Means anything is made up of a wooden block. We can take one example of a block game. I think you have played block game when you were small. So what you were doing is, you were taking a small blocks and making a shape. The second school came with the concept is everything is made up of particles of sand. So second school say that it is made up of small sand particles or small particles. You can take one example. When anyone goes on the beach and play with the sand, they make castle, they make different things, right? So that castle we take as a matter. The castle is made up of small particles of sand. So the matter is made up of small particle of its elements. Okay. So 2 school came with 2 different concept. So let's see with an experiment. So the first experiment is about mixing of salt and sugar in water. So just look at it. When you think that the video is going in speed, so pause it and see to it. Okay. What happens when we add salt and sugar to water? Let's see. The things we want is water, empty jar, spoon, salt and sugar. First of all, what we will do is, we will fill this jar with water. I think you are getting this thing. Now we will add salt to the water and mix it properly. You can do this at home. So I am mixing it. You should mix it properly. I have not did it in a proper manner. So you can see that water becomes opaque from transparent. So where does the salt went? Now again we will add water to the jar for the sugar one. Now I will add sugar to it and mix it properly. I have not mixed properly in this video because to show you the basic experiment. It will take a lot time for this thing. So I have mixed it as much as I can. So where does the sugar went? It got mixed in the water. So what we conclude from this? So we can conclude one thing, that water is a matter. We know that, right? It is made up of particles. So there will be space between them so that sugar and salt particles can get mixed in that. So I think there will be space between the particles of water. That we will see in the next video. Right now we will come back on the topic. Now the second thing in the physical characteristics is how small are these particles of matter. Means when we take a small particle of a matter, it gets on dividing from 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16. When we take a single particle of matter, so that particle gets on dividing, and it gets divided till it can't get divided further. I think it will be a bit confusion for you. Let's see this with an experiment. So this is the second experiment. Let's start. So for this, what we want is given on the table. Container 1 with 100 milliliter of water, container 2 same water, potassium permanganate, again container 3 with 100 milliliter of water, container 4 with 100 milliliter of water. Now what we will do is, we will take some crystals of potassium permanganate and add to the water. So with the few particles only, the color of the water will change. It will become dark purple with some particles of potassium permanganate. Now what we will do is, we will add 10 milliliter from the first container to the second container. Only 10 milliliter, means remaining is 90 milliliter. Now after mixing it, we can see the change in color in the second, now in the third, and then from third to fourth. So in this experiment you will able to see the change in the color, or we can say the color gets lighter. In all the 4 containers you can see that thing. So the crystal of potassium permanganate gets on divided. It gets on changing the color. It changed 400 milliliter of color. It changed 400 milliliter of water. So from this we can see that how small the particle of element or matter is. I hope you understood it. If this video made it easy for you to understand, then please like and share this video, and tell others also to subscribe the channel and see this video. I want to share this knowledge to each and everyone who is not getting the proper understanding about the topics. Thank you.